Top YouTubers all follow 3 simple steps for creating thumbnails. It lets them beat the algorithm and get tons of views on their videos. I'm going to reveal what the 3 steps are, how anyone can use them, and I'll give you examples of winning thumbnails that follow these steps. A winning thumbnail should do 3 things: stop the scroll, give us a hint about the video topic, and spike curiosity. That's it. Once people are curious about the thumbnail, they will read the title. And together, that gets the click. It's like dating. You wouldn't ask someone to marry you the second they see your profile on Tinder. Sure, the thumbnail needs to give us an idea about the video topic, but it doesn't need to give everything away. It just needs to spark that initial curiosity. And we spark that curiosity by putting an unanswered question in the viewer's mind. How did he make $1 billion? What isn't magic? What was the change? You get the idea. When you're staring at a blank screen, it's hard to create thumbnail ideas. That's why we follow a simple 3-part formula for creating thumbnails. After looking at thousands of thumbnails on YouTube, I realised they can all be put into one of 8 categories. Sometimes a thumbnail can fit into multiple categories. Action thumbnails include some sort of action, such as a person eating a gopher, running, a giant elephant toothpaste explosion. The bigger and more impressive the action is, the better. Before and after thumbnails compare 2 different states, with an obvious change between them. Typically, the before is where the viewer is at right now, and the after is where they want to be. Challenge thumbnails are for videos containing a challenge. They show the challenge's theme, content, or participants. Clean thumbnails are very simple, only featuring one thing, but they rely on recognizable people or objects to make the viewer curious. If it's not instantly recognizable, don't use them for your thumbnail. Comparison thumbnails compare 2 different states or things. For example, comparing an artist's drawing versus an AI drawing, or a female experience on a dating app versus a male experience. Statement thumbnails contain some sort of powerful statement, often in just a few words. Story thumbnails use a few different elements to tell a story. They're normally a bit over the top and make the viewer think, what is going on here? Why is there a cow? Why are they taking blood? Can you guess what a question thumbnail is? Thought so. The second part of the equation is emotion. Emotions are what drive people. And it's believed that 80% of our decisions are based on emotions. Add some emotion to your thumbnails and you will get the click. This is why you see tons of thumbnails with people showing over the top emotions. When people see strong emotions, they will subconsciously think, why are they feeling like that? It's opening a curiosity loop in the viewer's mind. When we have curiosity, we get the click. Here are some common emotions that people try to target in their thumbnails. We can still create emotions in people without over-the-top expression. Typically, this is done through powerful images or descriptive text. In some people, this image would trigger surprise. A statement like this might make you feel empathy. Or a statement like this could trigger curiosity. How did he do it? But there's still one part of the formula missing: design. We could pick the right category and emotion, but if we have crap design, our thumbnail won't perform well. We use the design for 2 things: to introduce our characters and then emphasize those characters. Every thumbnail will have a main character. Think of it as the most important person or object from your video. The main character tells the viewer who or what the video is about. We can also have supporting characters, and these give you more context about the video topic. Here, the Nike shoe would be the main character, but we have supporting characters: the hand, blood, money. All of these characters increase curiosity. A Nike shoe on its own wouldn't say much, but when you add the money and the blood, it could be a story about making money and betrayal. Characters can come in many different forms: CGI, graphics, logos, objects, or people. And you can have multiple types of these in a thumbnail. If you're wondering what characters to include, ask yourself this question. If you had to pick the 3 most important things in the video, what would they be? Once we have our characters, we need to emphasize them in the thumbnail. We want to make them stand out so it's immediately obvious what the thumbnail is about. Arrows and rings can bring attention to one part of the thumbnail. The less thinking the viewer needs to do, the better. Show them exactly what they need to look at. If they can understand the thumbnail in 1 second rather than 3 seconds, you're more likely to get the click. Here, the background was blurred out to emphasize the main character. If we remove the blur, we don't know what to look at anymore. Or we can use blur to hide important elements in a thumbnail. You'll see this all the time for thumbnails about how much money did I make. They will put the answer in the thumbnail and then blur or pixelate it out. But colour also plays a very, very important role. Different colours create different emotions in people. If you use the wrong colour, your thumbnails won't get clicks. Here's a quick cheat sheet. I'm kidding, here it is. You can also download it below in the video description. This video was about tricking real estate agents to let him poo in £10 million apartments. To emphasise the price of the apartment, they added a gold toilet. Gold is often linked to luxury, wealth and success. If we remove the gold toilet and put in a normal toilet, the thumbnail wouldn't be as interesting. We don't have that same feeling of wealth coming through. Or this video about hot tent camping in snow. Green is commonly associated with tranquility and balance. If we changed it to a red tent, the emotion of the image changes. Red can convey a sense of urgency and danger. If this video was about a dangerous experience when camping, a red tent would be best. But if it's a nice, relaxing, peaceful video, go for green. If we want to emphasize a specific part of the thumbnail, we can use shadows or strokes. In this thumbnail from Storer, we can see the main character has this shadow around him. If we remove that shadow, he blends into the background and we can't tell what the video is about. Or this thumbnail from Stuff Made Here. We have the robot with a stroke around it. That makes the robot stand out in the thumbnail. By removing that stroke, the robot blends into the background. We don't know what we should be looking at anymore. Text is used in a lot of thumbnails. It's one of the easiest ways to drive emotion in people. Normally, it contains one of the following: a controversial statement, emotive statements, an impressive number, questions, quotes from the video, or words from the video title. Text should be easy to read. We want to make it stand out in the thumbnail. If the text was on a busy background, we can add a box around it to make it pop even more. Or we could even darken the image behind. If we took away the text in this image, we wouldn't know what's going on. Is he 60 feet off the floor or 600? Without the text, the thumbnail isn't as interesting. The final concept for design is visual weight, and it's nothing to do with how much your thumbnail weighs. Visual weight is how visible the main character is. The main character should be the first thing you notice. Here, the cookie has the most visual weight. It's centered and in focus, so your eye looks at it first. Or this thumbnail from Jenny Hoyos holding a penny. By making the penny gold, it stands out in the image and pops off the background. If we changed it to a silver penny, suddenly it blends into the background and it doesn't have as much visual weight. We don't know if we should be looking at the penny or at Jenny. To find the visual weight in your thumbnail, close your eyes, open them, and see what you look at first in the thumbnail. If it's not the main character, a thumbnail needs to match the video idea. If you show a £1 billion yacht and the video only contains a small rowing boat, people will feel cheated. However, you want to push the boundary as much as possible. You want to show the most impressive things in your thumbnail without cheating the viewer. For example, this video was about eating tinned beans for 40 days. What do you think would be more interesting? An image of Bo with 1 tin of beans, or him with a huge pile of tins? Or in this thumbnail, we have Beard Meats Food being told off by Gordon Ramsay. This was verging on being a little bit too clickbaity. Sure, he was in a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, but Gordon Ramsay was not in the video. Even with an amazing design, we can't always hit a home run. Top YouTubers will all A/B test their thumbnails. They will take a thumbnail, make multiple variations, and then test them to see which performs the best. You can do this inside of TubeBuddy, and the feature is being added to YouTube, hopefully by the end of 2023. I caught Stuff Made Here testing different thumbnails on the same video. At 800,000 views, it had this thumbnail, and then a few days later it had changed to this one. To create a winning thumbnail, all you need to do is go through the 3-part formula. Start by picking a category. Think about which ones could work for your video. Then think about which emotions you can trigger. And finally, what are your characters and how can you emphasize them with design? Put all of those together and you'll have a winning thumbnail that will get clicks.